Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lou. I'm the product head of our SaaS products in Maytech, and I've got with me Asha and David, who are also part of our team. And just to introduce Maytech in a few words, but you might already be familiar with our work. We've been working in the public sector for about a decade now. And across those years, we've worked with a certain number of local authorities, and we've realized that we kept coming across the same challenges, the same problems, and solving them again and again for different organizations. So we figured there has to be a better way to help those local authorities, and that's when we decided that we would give a go at building products and helping councils deal with the pressure that they're under, the tight resources, the strain from external pressures, like the raise of cost of living and living wages, and all in parallel of insufficient funding and very unpredictable. And all those restraints, that's just to maintain services as they are, already facing a gap in funding. So that's just maintenance, so let alone improving services. So it's really crucial for councils to find ways to reduce costs and create efficiencies in services. And that's what we're trying to help with our products. Now, today, more specifically, we'd like to talk about direct payments in social care. We had the chance to work with a council a few months back who let us in on their direct payments service in social care. So we learned a lot about the importance of direct payments in the community, the benefits that it brings to social care users, independent living, more control over their care. But that also comes with challenges for councils in managing those direct payments, in making sure that the users receive the right level of support, that their personal budget fits their needs, and the funds that they receive are also well used and are not left unspent. So we kind of suspected that there was a chance to help with that process, and the councils that we were working with let us have a look at their current process. So this is a real example of a monitoring team, so running regular audits on direct payments that social care users are receiving in that local authority. Now, this particular council has tried to push digital cards, digital wallets, as the main payment method for direct payments, but there are still a lot of users in the community relying on receiving those payments in their bank account or in managed accounts. So they're not able to streamline the process like they would with a digital wallet. So they still have to run manual audits. And I won't go into details, but the process is quite lengthy and cumbersome. It involves a lot of time spent chasing users for responses when asked for their documents, a lot of exchanges spread across different channels like letters in the post, emails, phone calls to chase users, having to manually collect a copy of all those comms and keep an audit trail manually in their system. So it makes it really hard for that monitoring team to run those regular audits and achieve their targets in making sure that those audits are run when they need to be run. Now, the pain involved in that process is not exceptional compared to other services across local authorities. We've come across it in a lot of services. Disjointed user journeys that are caused by an ideal way to collect and verify evidence, because it often relies on complicated paperwork and conversations that are spread across channels. So it puts a strain on the officers, take away their time from more important tasks. It involves risks as well regarding data privacy and incurring operational costs, and it causes the service users frustrations, even just for the fact that it delays the delivery of services, creating friction in that delivery. Now, let's look at what the direct payment monitoring process that we've just looked at could look like. So we did a bit of imagining, and this is what the process could look like. What if officers could ask users for their evidence online in a single ready-to-go request, so they didn't have to go and fumble in their system for a template email or a template letter. They could just send it in one click to the user that needs to be audited, and that user would receive it in their email. They'd be able to provide the requested evidence in their own time using the device that they prefer. And if they don't have the documents at hand, they don't necessarily need to do it in one go, and they would just receive automated reminders to make sure that they do that in due time. And that would save the officer the time and the trouble of chasing them as well. And then the officer would receive all documents in one place and from all users as well in one place. So saving a lot of trouble and preventing risks of data ending in the wrong hands. So this is the experience that we'd like to deliver with our product Evidence. Trying to simplify that collection of evidence process, making it faster, reducing the effort that it takes from the officer, and also reducing risk around the process. But I think it's better if you see it in action, actually. So I'm gonna hand over to Asha, who's gonna show you what the product looks like.
Thank you, Lou. So before I begin sharing my screen, I just want to present a scenario. So let's imagine that I am an officer responsible for monitoring direct payments. In this scenario, say one of our service user, Lou, has been receiving direct payments for the past 6 months. And now it's time for me to carry out an audit and request evidence from her to verify that she's been using the payments correctly. So let me start off by creating a request. So when requesting, as you can see here, I've got 2 options to prepare a custom request or a templated option. So I select this templated option because it comes with all the necessary evidence required for the direct payment monitoring, saving me time and effort. As you can also see, there are other possible scenarios we have considered where evidence may be required from an applicant, such as the taxi vehicle license. So for now, let me go ahead with direct payment review. The reason for request is already pre-filled in from the template. And now I move on to applicant details. I'm gonna put in Lou's essential details, her first name, last name, and email. This is optional. So let me just click send now. So the request now will be sent with just one click. And once the request is sent, I can confidently move on to other tasks, knowing that I'll be notified via email once the applicant completes their part. So over to you now, Lou.
Right, so let me share my screen again, just to show you that I've received the request that Asha has just sent to me. So you see in my emails, I've received a message from Asha letting me know that I need to complete some checks. It's telling me for what purpose and giving me a link to complete the request, and also letting me know how long I have to do that. So in 7 days, the request will expire. But until then, I can complete the checks in my own time, So I'm gonna do a bit now. So it's listing all the evidence that I need to provide. If I didn't have them at hand, could close that up, go and pick them up or pick that up on another day. As long as I do that before the expiry date, I can come back to it on another device or this one. I can upload half of those and come back to it later as well. That's all good. But I'm gonna do it now. So here it's giving me some instructions as well that were part of the templates, just to let me know what kind of document I need to provide for this check. And these instructions can be as detailed as needed. Those are defined during onboarding with the council. So I'm going to upload a bank statement, save that. I could upload more, of course, to cover the time period that I've been asked. Here, I'll upload as well. There we go. And finally, payslip for the assistant that I've needed for my personal care. There. I think that's all that's needed from me. So I'm going to send that back to the council and wait for their response. I have a request reference just in case I need to contact the council and ask about my requests. But otherwise, I can just close that up and Asha get back to me when she needs to.
Thank you, Lou. So let me share my screen quickly. So as you can see now, I've received email notifying me that an applicant has completed the request. Now I'm going to review the checks. So here you can see all the evidences that I requested and all the evidence that Lou has provided. So let's start with the first one, bank statement. The second one, let me click on this. If I click on open file, I can see the bank statement provided. I'm happy with that. So same with the other files. I've got evidence for invoices and receipt. So let me say I'm happy with it and I'm going to mark it as complete. Same with the payslip. I'm happy and I'm going to mark it as complete. Say, for example, say I'd like more documents for this evidence bank statement. So instead of emailing, what I can do is I can just ask for more documents here. Say bank statement for August to September 2023. I'm going to save this message and I'm going to send the response again. So what happens next is Lou will be notified that I'm expecting more documents from her for that specific evidence. And on this request page, you can also see different status, which I wanted to quickly highlight that show you the progress of the request itself. So if something is approved by me, it would be approved. If I'm awaiting response for an evidence, the status would be awaiting response. And that's pretty much from my side on the demo. Over to you, Lou.
Thanks, Asha. So just want to quickly show you that I've received Asha's follow-up request for more documents. I'm not going to go into it. It's the same mechanism as I've shown you before. I would be able to upload the document and send that back to Asha. And also, if I didn't complete my checks just quick enough, or there was only a little time left before the expiry of the request, I would receive a useful reminder. And again, the time when I receive that reminder is also configured during onboarding with the council. So to make sure that the user still has enough time to complete their requests. Right. So hopefully the demo should have sparked some ideas about direct payment monitoring process and where there could be some efficiencies worth creating, or maybe another process altogether. And you might already be looking at improvements in your own service. But if you haven't started yet, we have a couple of tips on where to start to look at a process in the service to improve. So first, starting with your targets. So what are the results that you're looking to improve? And specifically to the social care direct payments monitoring process, we can be specific here just to make sure that we improve the right thing. So is it about increasing recovered revenue? So you suspect that you're losing revenue with direct payments and you want to recover more of it. Is it about reducing operational costs because the process is really costly in the team? Is it about security? Because you suspect that there are risks with data privacy and other steps in the process. Or is it about service user satisfaction and trying to improve the experience for the direct payment users, or a combination of those, but they might not all be the issue. And then it's about assessing the process itself and finding those opportunities for improvement. So first, the staff involved in running the process can probably point towards the pains and the bottlenecks in that process. So it's definitely the first place we would check. And also leveraging any direct payment users feedback that you have to give you an idea of what the experience is and how lengthy the process is, how clear, do they get the right guidance, do they know what to do, what's expected of them, and when are there frustrations on the way. And benchmarking some key metrics about the process before you look at improving it. So maybe the end-to-end lead time from the time you start an audit to the moment you can complete it. How long does that take? How long does the collection of evidence take? How many emails and phone calls and letters are involved in one audit with one user? All those kind of metrics that could be useful to target during improvements. And mapping the process, a very high level mapping that's meant to be a living document and is gonna improve as the process is changed step by step, could also help pinpoint where the pain points and the bottlenecks are. And we can help. So with that improvement process, but also in exploring other ways that you might want to reach your targets. So first, Watch Your Inbox will be sharing a link for you to try evidence yourself. So we've got a playground for our products where you can actually send yourself some requests, see how it works, how it might fit your own service. So you'll get a link to access that playground shortly after this webinar. And we'd also love to chat. So if you'd like to discuss about your own process more specifically and how we might help with it, we'd love to talk about that with you. So book a discovery call with us and we'll have a chat. But maybe there are questions for now.
Hi, Lou.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. I'd like to go over some questions that we got asked over the last few live events, if that's okay. The first one was, what are the main benefits of evidence for teams monitoring social care direct payments?
Evidence can really streamline your process in monitoring those payments and cut the lead time of gathering all the financial records you need from your service users for your audit by bringing the process online. So eventually it saves time for your officers in chasing users for their documents. It saves time and money spent on communicating by post, by email, and across all channels, and it keeps all those communications in a single place. And because we make it easier and faster for you to run those audits, you can run them more regularly and you have a better chance to recover unused or misused funds and reduce the costs of running your social care direct payment services.
Perfect, thank you. We were also asked, why are SaaS products a good choice for local authorities? And related to that as well, why is Evidence a SaaS product?
Yes, Evidence is a true software as a service product. It's hosted in AWS, so in Amazon Web Services, and all our customers use the same version of our product, which means that they always benefit from the latest improvements with no extra cost or delay. and they don't need to worry about the technology and managing it. It's fully managed by us, and we have security and data privacy front of mind, so you can rest assured that's taken care of. And with our product comes a very simple, transparent pricing. It's all inclusive of implementation, free and responsive customer support. So it makes it really easier for you to manage your budget and plan ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.